Yeah, you know me, I'm Mr. Social. You ever hear that song, Mr. Never mind.
No.
I was thinking there's no way you'd know this Japanese boy band. Why would you? Before it even came out of my mouth. Like, you ever hear Super Junior by any chance?
Super Junior. I feel like
Yeah.
that's a group my cousin listened to when we were in middle school or high school.
No, it's probably more recent than that. I think it's for adults, actually.
Okay. Hello, good evening, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Video Ditch. Today, it's just me, Sam, and my co-host Nick.
Classic style, original flavor.
Mm-hmm. No guests today.
No flavor added. Only salt.
Exactly. Yeah, you get our known flavor. Yeah, the typical responses. On today's show, and if it feels like I'm rushing, it's because we're trying something new today.
Yeah.
At 40 minutes, we might just lose connection. So
It's a fun piece of the free Zoom trial is
yeah.
that it just decides not to work sometimes.
Mm-hmm. So if anything happens, it's on Zoom's fault. It's not us.
Yeah, any added work, it's not going to be making me happy. It's going to make me turn to communardism very quickly.
And if you're watching the video format and you're wondering like what the fuck is going on with
Oh, that's to seal his dark
Sam's
power.
eye. it's
It's to
exactly
seal
right.
the demon within him.
Mm-hmm,
I've
mm-hmm.
seen this before.
Yeah. A Japanese man came to my house. I didn't understand a word he was saying, but he beat me to the ground and he put this fucking gauze on my face.
Yeah, dragon tore his heart out and flew away.
Yeah. Yeah. Today we're going to be covering another publisher showcase. Surprise, surprise. And in the wider gaming world, there's been some court drama going on with Microsoft and the U.S. Federal Trade Commission. But, we'll get there. So to begin with, Annapurna Interactive, some call them the A24 of video games, real prestige indie shit.
Yeah, I mean, they both seem to make movies or pieces of media for the discerning enjoyer, for the person that's tired of the same old, and wants something off the beaten path, for better or worse.
Exactly. If you like Call of Duty, you won't like any of their games.
It's true. If you like Halo, you might like it just because some of the colors are the same. It's got some green, some orange, some blue.
They released a showcase. It was about 30 odd minutes of just devs talking about their projects, smaller teams, kind of cool. Honestly, though, there were only a few projects that stood out to us. I could go first, or if you want to talk about the one that interests you.
You should go ahead.
Okay. Okay. I mean, I've only got two.
Two is more than one, so go ahead.
All right. Well, one of the exciting announcements for me, and this isn't even a new game, hilariously, but there's a little game called Mundawn, which is it's this like Swiss folklore inspired horror game that I think it came out like a year or two ago, but now it's getting a wider release on consoles. Yeah, it was the one with like the penciled in art style.
Oh yes, I was watching the trailer for that, and I was thinking to myself, "This shit isn't 3D. This is not hand drawn at all." I didn't realize they meant the textures. I was just thinking, like, this is such fake bullshit. They think I'm gonna be that stupid. I think that like a little bit of chicken scratch on the 3D model means they hand drew it. I'm not that dumb.
But yeah, it's got a very unique aesthetic. I remember watching coverage for it when it did come out, and it was being well received by fans of horror. If you're into folklore or like Wicker Man style kind of horror.
Oh, I thought you meant like the JRPG folklore.
Oh no, which one's that? Was that a PS3 game?
I think it was an Xbox 360 launch title.
Ooh.
Yeah, not a lot of players.
The Xbox 360 had some unfortunate JRPGs.
Lost Odyssey. Let's not get stuck on it.
Hey, that's a good one though. That's not a bad one.
I'm saying it's unfortunate because it was on the Xbox.
Mm, true, true. Yeah, Mundon. First person perspective. You're kind of exploring this alpine Swiss village. There's some
Yeah,
supernatural spooks going on.
there's some erasers on all fours chasing you, trying to erase you. You're like, no, don't erase my perfectly hand drawn pencil body, please.
Yeah, some real comics zone type shit.
Every frame took hours to complete. God, I wish it was like Comic Zone. That'd be so cool if the horror element was like a just a bunch of like breadcrumbs and
Yeah.
like chasing the guy around. He's like, my beautiful hand drawn
Right.
existence
Gets coffee spilled on him.
fading away.
Yeah.
I think that's actually isn't that the plot of like Bendy and the Ink Machine?
Oh.
Drawings come to life and get erased, but like you know, through the mascot horror
Mhm.
generator that turns
Mhm.
everything into shit.
I can only assume. Bendy's one I'm familiar with, like name only.
Yeah, kids love it.
Yeah, that's an odd thing.
I think
But
it's
they
because
tend
it's like edgy Mickey Mouse.
yeah, exactly. Tend to gravitate towards these
Yeah,
things.
like the kids are like, I don't like Sonic, but Shadow. It's something about him. Maybe it's the gun.
Yeah. Yeah, I was at a Korean grocery store today. And in there
Shadow the Hedgehog like poking the tofu, like extra firm, barely.
no, I wish. Just in their energy drink section, they had a can that had Sonic on it. It was peach
Oh,
rings
the
flavor.
G Fuel. I've had that.
Yeah.
I had that just because you know I do like Sonic. At the end
Hmm.
of the
You
day.
you got to support the brand.
Yeah, it does taste like peach rings, and it makes your blood feel like it's on fire.
They also had the PewDiePie variety, but it seems much
Yeah,
more cursed.
I've seen that one. Never purchased it. Never tasted it. I feel like it's kind of similar to the Grimace Shake. You know, drinking in some of the essence of PewDiePie, he has the ability, kind of like Sephiroth, to at any later date take control of that vessel after being
Hmm.
injected with the cells.
I agree. The Grimace Shake is bad news.
I
People are
know.
really embracing it, but
It's really weird. I mean, I like that it's purple, but I don't like that it's drink.
hmm everything surrounding it just screams like corporate pandering, you
It
know.
does.
And
Yeah.
people are falling for it. That's the crazy
Really,
thing.
really easily. Yes.
Yeah. Shame on you.
Yeah. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Don't buy anything. Make anything yourself. If you can't do that, then you're just a shill. You're
Yeah,
just a
quit
corporate
being a
shill.
sheep. Quit drinking Ivan's ooze. You know? Fucking
Talking
A.
about video games or something?
um, yeah. Mundon. Mundon.
Yeah, Mud Dawn. It's hand drawn, cell shaded, 3D, not cell shaded. What am I talking about?
Mhm.
It's got drawings in it that are
Yeah,
in
it seems to be more of like
for
the more
amnesia,
stealth-based
kind of.
horror. Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of slower paced, not very actiony. I know that you do get access to weapons, but they're more of like these break in like 3 hits kind of thing.
Yeah, Silent Hill 2 kind of.
Yeah.
They make the combat really bad on purpose so that you
Hmm.
don't even want to
Hmm.
bother with it.
Exactly. I've heard it's very atmospheric. I've heard like the vibes are very cool. So I'd check that out. I think there was a release date. It might be out now. Um, but yeah,
What does that mean, atmospheric for a horror game? I feel like it's kind of cheap to say a horror game is just
is
atmospheric
atmospheric. Oh,
rather
okay,
than
okay.
focus on the gameplay. It's like, oh yeah, it's really scary. You see, it's dark
If you turn all
and
the lights off, yeah.
sometimes a noise pops up when you're not expecting it. You know, if I
Hmm.
want that, I could just go in the dark in my room. I could cover myself in the damn cat treats and wait for them to
Exactly.
pick my
Yeah.
bones clean. It's
Yeah,
gonna be
yeah.
very
Put like a
shocking, very scary. I'm gonna be afraid to even twitch.
trash can on your head. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess in Mundon's case, it's like it's the folkloric element of it, and then the fact that it's like in the Swiss Alps. It's unique. And
Is it
again, like
Yeti?
Burning Man vibes. Not Burning Man, fucking Wicker
Wicker
Man.
Man.
Excuse me.
Nicolas
Yeah.
Cage. Yeah, yeah.
I'm more of a, Christopher Lee in the original. Do you want to talk about your pick? Because my next pick was literally the last announcement of the show.
Oh, yeah, to a T. It's just another game by the Katamari guy. I got what Tam. I didn't even finish it, but I was playing. I was like, you know what? This is something new. This is something charming. I like the art style. I like the music.
Mhm.
Gameplay is non-existent, which is the weird thing.
Yeah, it's an odd
Katamari
one.
Damacy had gameplay to back up everything about it. In fact, the gameplay was I would say an integral part of why the game was so well received. Not just the fun little art style
Yeah.
and the fun music.
And the quirkiness, yeah.
And I feel like To a T will also be a game without very much very severe gameplay, but it'll have new gameplay. It'll have. I feel like it's going to be sort of like a QWERTY kind of game, maybe.
Yeah.
A getting over it for kids. But I'm fine with that. I'll try it at least.
Yeah, the trailer was interesting. Something about like a T posing person, and then they had their signature kind of original song for the game.
There's a Japanese version.
I was thinking kind of the same thing. I was
thinking like, how when you hear someone like, oh, I turned this anime opening English, all the like pronunciation, the syllables, the way they're placed is just like really weird. It's very direct. So it's like, onward we go. I am going to save the princess.
Yeah, it's no Smile Bomb.
No,
right?
Smile Bomb is a perfect
that would translated perfectly. Yeah,
I don't know how they did it. The English is actually probably better than the Japanese, honestly. The Japanese has I would say the Japanese has a better backing track, but the English has a better vocal track because the Japanese one isn't a MIDI they whipped up in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, I do like how the Japanese one ends, but the English one just consistently a banger. Listen to it every single episode.
Yeah, thank you for waking me up. I say that to my phone every morning.
Yeah, with the Katamari devs behind it, quirky gameplay. I hate that word, quirky.
I was gonna say, he's a little more elevated than that.
I feel like it's been that word has been just run into the ground over the last couple decades.
Very Wes Andersonian gameplay.
It's interesting that you brought up Watom because I don't think I've ever met anyone else who has played that.
It's interesting. It was
I played it as well.
So I can't be like, oh, I was wrong that you play a game where you meet little creatures and you do their little creature action to get more creatures. Like it was exactly that.
How far did you get in it?
I got
because you're always getting like those other islands,
like fifth island coming in. I want to say,
yeah. Did you get to the detective sequence?
Nope.
Oh man, that was like very charming. At one point, one of the little creatures like goes full stereotypical hard-boiled Japanese detective, like he gains a stubble, and then the music changes, right, and his mannerisms kind of change.
See, that's what I was waiting for, but so many of the interactions for the first like what do you say, like 6 hours?
It's kind of a drag. You're just dancing around with a toilet or something.
Can someone please water me? Can someone please let me sniff this foot? Like whatever.
I will say I didn't finish that one either. Did you play it by yourself or with another person?
Completely alone, which is probably why.
I feel like you gotta play these things with other people.
Yeah, maybe when I have a child, I'll be like, "See, look at this, Watam. Ooh, I can't show you."
Be literally delisted at that point. All right, when we're in the post-apocalypse, like, oh, this ancient Japanese.
I can't believe I never deleted this on my SD card.
Yeah. Okay. And then there was literally nothing else from the showcase.
Not one thing
interested you.
Wow. Not at all. No.
I'd say the photo taking game, wasn't really jiving with me. And then
I don't even like Pokemon Snap that much.
It was humorous, hearing that dev talk about like, oh, I've been working on this game for like 7-8 years, and then I just scrapped it completely.
Oh yeah, to remake it in
to
3D.
Force myself to finish something new. Yeah. And it didn't.
I could understand that. I think that makes sense to me.
There you go.
To be so dissatisfied with something that you're like, you know what? Just redo it all.
Just redo it.
Just start over.
And he did say that at the end of the blurb. He's like, that's the message I want to go with this game. It's like there's always time to start over. So.
Well, I like the message, but I will not play the game, probably.
Yeah, right? Like 3D Monster Hunter-like, but all it was footage of a character climbing like a very slow frame rate.
It's kind of like watching someone do the what was it, Shadow of the Colossus secret in real time, climbing up a mountain for an hour straight.
Right. Did you ever get to the top of the
no, because
the starting temple?
I wanted to play the game to do the fun stuff, like kill the colossi, not to climb a mountain for an hour. I watched someone else do that.
Never had enough stamina to do it.
No, never had enough stamina in the game or in real life.
Mm-hmm. And that initial like horse jump you have to do to get up there. It's tricky stuff. Thirsty Suitors was kind of interesting to me, but conceptually, then I watched the trailer and I became less interested.
Yeah, I feel like that's the thing. A lot of these things have like really cool pitches, and then the gameplay is like generic puzzler with these art assets. Or generic visual novel with these art assets.
Yeah, it had like visual novel elements. It was mixing a lot of things, but if that would come together to make something compelling, I'm not sure.
No, I feel like the golden age of visual novels is long behind us. Back on the Game Boy Advance, DS, all that.
The DS, yeah.
Phoenix Wright 999. They don't make them like they used to.
Yeah. What was the second game in that franchise
Virtue's
called?
Last Reward.
Was there 3?
There are 3. The second one is amazing with a. I don't want to get into it.
Well, yeah, that's a topic for a future episode.
I love adventure games.
Mm-hmm. And then there was that bicycling one. I liked the aesthetic
Ghost Bike?
of it. Yeah, it reminded me of a game called Sable that I really enjoyed.
I was gonna say it looked like Damon Albarn. Looked like gorillas to me. You don't think so?
Oh, like the Gorillas, the band.
Yeah, no, not the animal.
I was like, huh.
Like Murdoch and Tootie and Noodle and all those.
I can see that, yeah.
Not Jane Goodall in the Mist.
Mm-hmm. And I had some Italian company providing music. It's like, Italians do it better was the tagline of
Yeah. I mean, I didn't really understand what the point of it was. It seems like you just bike around fast. I'm sure that could be fun for 30 minutes. But I've never really gotten into games where it's just like, enjoy the experience. Just look around. That's why I could never finish like Yume Nikki or even really get into LCD. Did you ever play that one? Dream
LCD?
Simulator.
Was that the PS1 game?
Yeah, the PS1 game.
Oh, okay. Wasn't it LSD or was it LCD?
What did I say?
You said LCD.
Oh yeah, it's LSD.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not a screen. It's a whoops.
No, that's only one I've heard about, and it's kind of like I feel like I heard about it in like a 4chan kind of way where people are like, it's so crazy.
This is the most insane game ever. If you play this, your memory card will pull itself out and climb down your throat and fucking kill you.
Yeah. Well, those experiences aren't for you, but I'm sure someone will enjoy it.
Yeah, it's for someone. Whoever it is out there.
Yeah. What was that one called? Ghost Bike?
Yeah, Ghost Bike.
Ghost Bike. Cool art style. Music was, not really my jam, but that's one track. Maybe they bring the big guns in another one.
Yeah, I just I like the look of it, but I probably never believe this. Won't play it. Just retitle this too. Probably won't play it.
You gotta have like a jar or something, like a tally going for this sort of stuff. And then at the end of their conference, their last big announcement was Blade Runner 2033 Labyrinth.
Yeah. I've never seen Blade Runner or Blade Runner 2033, so
2049.
Whichever it is. So I have no interest in this at all.
Okay. I'm surprised you've never seen Blade Runner.
Yeah, it just escaped me. I don't know how. I don't think I've ever seen a single cyberpunk film. I've only read a cyberpunk novel.
That's crazy. I mean, I watched Blade Runner within like the last few years, and I don't like the aesthetics have aged well, but like the plot, I don't think is great. Like Harrison Ford forces himself on a woman.
Isn't she like a Reploid or something?
A replicant, yeah.
Yeah. So they don't matter or something. Their lives are worthless, but they're functionally exactly the same as a person.
Yeah,
like they can have kids and stuff.
Oh, no, they can't have kids.
Oh, so they are just
until the sequel. But then that's getting in like miraculous kind of territory and stuff. And
okay,
I enjoyed the sequel more, I will say.
So it's like Mega Man, and then the sequel is like Mega Man X.
There you go. Yeah,
got
it. This game is going to be set in between both films during like some blackout in future Los Angeles. They didn't reveal a lot about the game, other than that it's going to be narrative focused, and I think you're playing as a Blade Runner. I'm excited, but I feel like it might be a walking simulator, which
if
disappoints
the whole
me.
point is like, oh, it's a cyberpunk hellscape where there's no electricity then I don't think it's going to be very high octane action, not very big on spectacle.
See, and like fans of Blade Runner will say like, "Oh, that's better," like that's what I want.
The one thing I hate about Cyberpunk is all the cyber. I want more punk.
Yeah. Well, speaking of adventure games, did you ever play the Blade Runner like point and click?
I didn't even know that existed.
You should check it out. It's pretty ambitious for the genre. It came out in the 90s, but it recently got remastered. And it has like multiple endings. It kind of generates the mystery like procedurally every time. So there's like a new
based on
culprit.
Philip K. Dick's kind of canon as well. I got it. Okay, I might check that out.
Yeah,
I know.
I would play it on the PC, not on console, because it's shit on console.
Yeah, I mean, it usually is, isn't it? I know Kojima made like a Blade Runner ripoff adventure game called Snatcher.
Snatcher, yeah.
And
the
was
character
on, like,
looked like and he looked like Mel Gibson.
He looked like
from
Mel
fucking
Gibson
Lethal
fused with
Weapon,
Harrison
yeah.
Ford. And then Police Knots, I think, was after that.
Oh, I might be getting them mixed up now. Police Knots might be the one with the Mel Gibson looking anime.
He's very Mel Gibson in Police Knots.
And frankly, that was the Annapurna Interactive. 30 minutes of some artsy games, and Strays coming to Xbox.
Who cares? Who cares in the slightest?
Yeah, right. When I saw that trailer come up, I was like, "Oh, Nick will love this."
Oh yeah, I love a game where nothing happens. You know me. But you gotta be a cat.
You get to be a cat.
You
can't jump whenever you want.
No, it's still. I don't see how people are like, "Oh, that's good." Actually, that you have no freedom as a cat. The animal notorious for going in and out wherever it pleases, and everyone's just like, "Well, they're a cat, so they can just do that. They can just go to any place. They can squeeze under any little crack in the wall."
Just gamer Stockholm syndrome,
These people being held hostage. I know. It's like, oh, cute animal. I must buy, must consume. I need it. Yeah. Get over yourself.
Yeah. Speaking of like people being held at gunpoint and Stockholm syndrome, I loaded up the showcase today just to, get a refresh. And the comment section was so like oddly positive.
For like Stray?
For the Annapurna Interactive. It's just like, oh, great showcase,
that is
everyone.
Weird.
Like,
yeah. It's like, you remember the Grasshopper and the RGG showcase? Everyone was like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
Nothing. And these are people who like love these studios, and they're like, I'm going to go to Goichi Suda's house, and this user's been banned for hateful speech or threats.
Hateful speech, yeah. In the live stream. Totally. Okay. Any closing thoughts on that one?
To a T, I will check out. I will play it for probably 30 minutes unless it has something that really grabs me. Everything else, I guess you'll tell me about it when it comes out, if you remember, to even grab it. If
I play through Mundawn, I'll tell you. And then I don't know if the Blade Runner game had an announcement or a release date. I don't think it did.
It's just like it exists.
Yeah. We're working on this kind of thing. But I do love my Cyberpunk, so I probably will check it out.
Yeah, Fortnite, you got the Cyberpunk skin. Is that in there, I assume?
No, there was no... They have Geralt in there.
I knew they added something completely unfair.
They added Ciri and Yennefer recently as well.
For a children's game.
Yeah. I know, they don't even know who these people are.
No, they're just like, whoa, she looks cool. I mean, I guess that's all that matters. Mom, where's your credit card? I need to buy school supplies.
And well, moving on from Annapurna Interactive, for those that don't know, Microsoft has been busy trying to acquire some studios to put under their belt, following their acquisitions of Bethesda and ZeniMax. They want to keep taking pieces of the pie, and were reportedly in talks to purchase Activision Blizzard, which is like the largest third-party publisher out there today. But the U.S., I believe it's the U.S., might be a European Federal Trade Commission, took them to court, basically saying that this decision would be anti-consumer choice. So, that AP economics lesson finally mattering to me in my life. Monopolies are bad. And that's been going on this past week. And, I don't know if it if they reached a verdict. But for those that, like to talk about what's going on in the gaming world, we got some fun peeks behind the curtain. Before I go on, do you have any feelings in particular about just what's happening with
anti-consumer choice? That's what they said?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, if I see that Microsoft, Activision, Blizzard logo that is anti-choice, I don't even need to make a choice. I already know as soon as I see it, do not buy this game. Do not waste your money on this piece of dog shit. Like, wasn't the whole problem when Blizzard joined with Activision was that all their games started sucking ass, like, majorly, like, way worse than before? Because what was their first title after the merger? Was it, like...
After their... Oh, God, I don't know.
Diablo
I can't tell
3?
you. Blizzard's just been a fucking shit show for, like, the past few years.
Yeah, I don't know if you've heard of a little game called Overwatch, but it's not doing too hot. Yeah, I mean, Microsoft just started picking up, actually making decent stuff, actually like giving games away that people want to play, desperately trying to win back those players, appealing even to like JRPG fans, which was like the Xbox users' a natural enemy back in our day with all the Repantasia shit and all the showcases. So I just feel like as soon as the merger happens, like, I don't know, Bobby Kotick's gonna walk into the room and be like, all right, so get rid of the games with gold shit. We're not giving away any more free shit. Charge them for
free
it.
Stuff.
Charge them for gamer score. Tell them they have a gamer score limit. If they want more gamer score, they got to pay $100 to increase the cap to get more achievements.
Exactly. Just like Zoom. Yeah. You only get 40 minutes of Call of Duty.
Speaking of, how much time do we have left?
Like 10 minutes.
Oh my
God. So we'll see.
I hope they do it, and I hope that they all become one big flaming ball and just
horrible
phase out. I hope they just crash and burn. That's what I hope happens. I hope it goes through, and I hope that even the most blind fans, even the people who've been playing since like Warcraft 3 or whatever, people who are like self-inflicted chains and collars, are just like, you know what?
Oh my God, I just got the remaining meeting time.
I'm ignoring it. Even they're like, shit. I don't think I want to wear this collar anymore. I think I'll take off this yoke. They're like, oh wow, that's what it's like. That extra $25 or whatever a month. Wow. Probably significantly more with the Overwatch, but whatever.
Well, I guess I'll just gloss over this.
No, please regale me with the legalese for our remaining 10 seconds.
Some amusing kind of emails were presented in the court. There's one in particular from this guy at Microsoft. His name is... It's like Mark Booty or some shit. Like, I am not shitting. No, his last name is Booty. And he sent out this email back in 2019 in like total like evil corpo kind of tone. Like, we're gonna outspend Sony, become the Disney of games.
God, what a lofty goal.
Yeah, and that's kind of like interesting. Like, this is their strategy. They want a Marvel Studios, right?
Yeah,
in games,
and that's going to be Blizzard.
That's what they think, right? And more in your wheelhouse, they did consider purchasing Square Enix, but I think they refused.
Thank Christ.
Sega as well.
Oh my God.
They wanted to buy, but they also refused.
That business acumen of the Japanese, that wherewithal to know, should we keep making good games once in a while, or pretty often in Sega's case, or should we only make garbage that we hate creating and be overworked? I think...
And get day one for free on Game Pass. Yeah.
Well, we will get more Steve Blum world premiere announcements. Choices.
Yeah. It's just been a lot of disillusioned Microsoft corporate bullshit, being aired out through this trial.
Not shocking.
Yeah. And like, I don't know. Microsoft is like poorly managing their studios is like another bit of news that has been brought out from this. Like, I don't know if you remember, Perfect Dark is like getting a reboot.
It was in
2019
Rare,
they had a trailer. Yeah,
Perfect Dark Zero was like a 360 launch title.
Yeah, and they were gonna revamp it and bring it back with their The Initiative is what they called it, which is like another group of developers, and they got Crystal Dynamics working on it. But like
Crystal Dynamics, didn't they have a big bomb and stop making anything?
Yeah, wasn't that fucking the Avengers game?
Was that Crystal Dynamics? Oh, I'm thinking of I'm thinking of the Eternal Darkness people, whatever that one was. For two
Silicon
Fury,
Knights,
two
but I might
For
be,
Honor, whatever the
might
fuck
be
it was
wrong
called.
there. Yeah,
I think Silicon Knights.
Yeah, it's just pretty funny hearing employees be like, "Yeah, we spent 9 months doing nothing," and then they're like, "We're gonna scrap that and start over."
Yeah, no, I mean it makes sense. Just like, okay, you guys all just make a game by this deadline,
right?
And see you then.
Yeah, it's just been interesting, as someone at like the bottom, as like a consumer,
Yeah,
just seeing like, oh wow, games costing like more than movies at this point, with budgets of like 220 million, right?
The AAA economy cannot.
It's crazy.
It's not sustainable.
And then hearing about these like poor practices on a development side, it's like, what the fuck?
I know. Just use like 3 less polygons. I don't know. Just use a couple less polygons. I will be fine. I would prefer it. It would look more interesting to me.
It's true. In the age of bloated AAA game releases, I think we say this like every fucking time. Just the importance of indie devs and
and Nintendo and beautiful
right?
Nintendo.
The real Disney of games already exists.
Yeah,
right.
That's the thing. I didn't want to say it, but basically that already is Nintendo. Like more kids recognize Mario than Mickey Mouse at this point, probably.
Yeah, like Mario's in theme parks.
Yeah,
and,
I got my
had a movie.
nephew a little golden book, those little books for babies. That was like, meet Mario. And it's like, this is Princess Peach. She's very sweet. And he like looked at it and he was like, wow,
I like this. Yeah. During the trial, another funny quote is that Microsoft did admit to losing the console wars.
Yeah,
they're like, we've always been third,
Yeah,
and that's why they wanted to acquire Sega and Square Enix to somehow get a foothold in the East, but they know better.
I know. Even with the 360, that was when they were the closest to getting on top, and they were still nowhere close because the damn Wii, the juggernaut,
right? And even when the Wii U flopped, they couldn't take advantage of that.
No, 3DS was too powerful, and the PS4 existed.
Yeah, and I mean that's about it with the court drama. It's funny to be able to just punch at Microsoft and be like, "You fucking idiots!
You guys don't know what you're doing.
So out of touch."
Turn it over to the inmates. Let us run the asylum for a sec. I know a thing or two.
Yeah, it's disheartening hearing or reading rather like these people at the top referring to games as content.
Yes,
it's like dystopian.
The word content, I think, is sickening to hear in general, regardless of what level you are as someone who makes it, or someone who consumes it, or someone who facilitates the creating of it. It's like a very impersonal way to refer to something that's supposed to be like personal and enjoyable.
It's art,
and like
right? Yeah.
It's supposed to be art. Yeah. So just calling it content is very like.
It's like dehumanizing,
very capitalist hellscape kind of. And me, I usually am a big proponent of capitalism. I love spending money on useless shit. I've got a big shelf that I opted not to show for some reason, full of my useless Japanese shit. And I'm trying to get a Sega Saturn just so I can be like, hey, do you guys know I have a Sega Saturn? So
wow, you can play Virtua Fighter on that.
Play Police Nuts. You could play Snatcher.
There you go.
You could play.
Well, we've got
3D games.
We got 3 minutes and 20 seconds left. Yeah. Should we take a break and then come back?
Yeah, maybe I can figure out why my head Discord? Is bright red.
Turning red again? Yeah. Something's
That's
going
happening
on there.
Again. Don't know why.
Yeah, when we come back.
Do not know why.
I've got. Did you look at the new game releases for July?
Did. Pikmin 4 and
anything in there
shit,
was
basically.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I really only am excited for 2 of those games, and then I was going to ask you about The Legend of Heroes. Like, are you familiar with that series?
Legend of Heroes, not Legend of Galactic Heroes? Is that the Famicom
I
RPG?
think it's like that weird Trails or Trials.
Yeah, Trails in the Sky or whatever. Yeah. I think I have the entire Trails in the Sky series on Steam, and I think I own Trails of Cold Steel on my PlayStation Vita, but I've never played any of them.
Yeah, that's a JRPG franchise I've just never gotten into.
I feel like I would like it. I feel like I really like Falcom titles, but I think I prefer the older ones. I think that something happened when they shifted over to like handhelds and PSP, where the fantasy look, the classic fantasy, got it kind of replaced.
All right, we're back from that quick little break. I think we were talking about the Trails series of JRPGs.
Yeah, I don't know. They look like the kind of games I would avoid, but I trust Falcom to make good games. So I still want to try them. I think I would enjoy them. I think I would probably have hundreds of hours of enjoyment out of them if I tried them.
Yeah. There was another game getting released in July from like another long-running JRPG series that I'm not super familiar with. Is the Atelier like Alchemist series?
Oh yeah, that's been going for a long time.
Yeah.
I have never had any interest in those, and I feel like the people that play those are what people assume JRPG fans are like.
Kind of degenerate.
a little scary, a little out there. People who kind of perhaps rejected humankind in favor of a fantasy world.
Yeah, I'm super unfamiliar with those ones. I just wanted to see if you had any sort of like base.
No, somehow even I managed to avoid those. Even I've never been like, you know what? I think I'll try Atelier Reset today. I saw a good thread on 4chan about it. No one was talking about the game, but you know they love the designs.
They love the characters.
Love those designs.
Yeah. Okay, and then as far as other releases go, Pikmin 4 at the end of the month on the 21st.
Got to pick that up at some point. I assume it has multiplayer. I hope it has multiplayer.
I would assume. It also has a character creator, which is kind of cool. Yeah, you make your own.
You make your own Olimar?
Mm-hmm.
I thought
you're on like a rescue mission. Yeah.
Huh. Okay, that could be interesting. I could make a decent creature, I think.
Yeah. You know, it's always fun.
Probably gonna make a fucked up freak though. I don't know.
Of course.
It'll either be me or a fucked up freak.
50-50.
Yeah.
Right on. Personal pick for me is Oxenfree 2. I don't know if you're familiar with Oxenfree as like a property.
Adventure game, kind of.
Yeah. It's really like conversational, decision-making kind of game, you know. It's what I wanted Life is Strange to be like.
Yes, so the dialogue isn't unbearable.
Exactly.
It's so bad in Life is Strange. It's crazy that so many people are like, oh, I love this game. And they talk like, I don't even know, like Juno. Everyone talks like they're in the movie Juno. Like, hey, swing and a miss, daddy-o.
Mm-hmm. Very strange.
Yeah, just like the life.
That was a game I was excited for when it first got announced. I'm like, oh, playable indie movie.
Yeah.
And then I played it. It was like, oh, this is fucking garbage. And then everyone else is like, this game is so good.
Yeah.
So I like the second one, but maybe I'm just missing the sauce, you know?
No, because I like the Telltale games, and they're basically the same exact thing.
Mm-hmm.
Or I liked Walking Dead, I guess.
Did you play any of the others?
And Wolf Among Us.
Wolf Among Us. Yeah.
Never finished it. I mean, it never was finished, so.
Oh, fair.
Was it?
Part 2's coming out.
Okay.
But the first 5 episodes, right, of Wolf Among Us, it did
very funny that you can immediately shove a pint glass into someone's head on accident.
Bigby's awesome, dude.
Yeah,
rip someone's arm off.
It's a little unclear what you're trying to go for sometimes, and you end up going for the most horrifically violent option. It's always funny.
Yeah, that's a funny game where it's like you do it because it's like, oh, that sounds awesome in the moment, but then it's clearly just the worst choice.
Right, everyone around you's like, what have you done?
Hates you. Yeah,
it's like, well, I mean, piss me off.
It's like I did something awesome. Yeah, it's like you didn't want me to rip that guy's throat out.
It's like the opposite of Walking Dead, where it's like if you try to do anything cool with Lee, he like trips over a dandelion and blasts his brains out.
Right. Speaking of Telltale, you know, after their was it bankruptcy, or they kind of
Yeah,
like shut down for a
they
bit?
totally foreclosed, shut down, fired
Hmm.
everyone en masse. There was a bunch of people posting online like, so I just got told today is my last day at Telltale.
Yeah, mass layoffs,
Hmm.
that kind of thing. They're coming back. I don't know which studio picked them up or refinanced, but I think their first project back is going to be a
The
game based on The
Expanse.
Expanse. Yeah, which is also
Yeah.
coming out this month.
I remember seeing that at Summer Games Fest. I remember thinking, I don't like this at all.
Mhm.
I don't like this hyper realistic look that they're going for, and
You
I
think
don't
it's
like the
hyper
dialogue.
realistic? I think it's strangely
For
stylized.
Telltale,
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
like too
fair. Yeah.
realistic, you know?
Hmm. From what I heard, they have some Life is Strange developers working on it.
Oh, so that's why the dialogue was so jarring and
And the
unhuman.
the perspective is like behind, over the
Yeah.
shoulder kind of thing. Yeah.
It's like what is it? The really shitty delivery in Yakuza 1 is just how I feel when they talk. Like, especially when they swear. It's just like
Yeah.
the same as the motherfucker, you know?
Yeah, super unnatural.
Just weird intonation. And it's even
Hmm.
crazier because they bring out like the actual actors.
Yeah, but then
And
the footage they have of them is just like them
so stiff.
over Zoom. Yeah,
Mhm.
reading a script with a bored expression on their face. Yeah. Uh well, we got Oxenfree 2, we got Telltale's Expanse game. And the real shit at the end of the month is Double Dragon Gaiden.
Oh, yeah, I heard that the
Right.
new Double Dragons were pretty good, starting with what, Neon?
Oh yeah, like back in the day, like
That
10
was like
years
20,
ago.
2012, isn't that what
Yeah.
revived it? Kicked off the whole
Mhm.
side-scrolling. It was like that and Scott Pilgrim, the game.
Yeah. Classic like Xbox Live Arcade era
Yeah.
beat 'em ups. And then genre kind of died down for a bit. I feel like with Streets of Rage 4, when that came out, it was like the beginning of
Oh,
a
yeah.
renaissance for
That was a hot one.
for beat 'em ups.
Remember-
It's a great game.
Came out, everyone was like, yeah, I always like Streets of Rage more than Final Fight. It's a more nuanced
God.
title, actually. So, of course, I'll be picking up Streets of Rage 4. Like, okay, you can just play the game. It's fine.
Honestly. Great soundtrack for Streets of Rage 4. They had some really good DLC that added like a roguelike mode to it after launch.
And that's what they're doing with the new Double Dragon, right?
Yeah, kind of. It seems like every run you do is going to give you points to spend, right, on like new characters or like
Oh,
more
yeah.
behind the scenes stuff.
Not just playing as Bimmy and Jimmy.
Mm-hmm. I think Marion is even a playable character in this one, which is fun.
Something.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. So it looks kind of like they're going for the River City Ransom kind of gameplay and style. If you ever played any of those,
Oh yeah, I'm a big fan.
yeah, it's kind of what it reminded me of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not quite like Streets of Rage 4 or Shredder's Revenge, but you have like, I think you could upgrade your stats in this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of River City, River City Girls was also like another recent
I thought
beat 'em
that
up.
came out a while ago.
Yeah, it did. The sequel just came out, I think, this year, earlier. But I would recommend both of those if you like the genre.
Yeah, I'll probably pick it up and then play it by myself and be like,
God.
this is boring. And stop
You
playing
gotta
it.
play these games in co-op. It's like
I know.
the
Even
best way to experience them.
Street Fighter 6 too, it's so radically different playing ranked than just having like complete laser focus, not moving any muscles outside of just my hands to not exert any extra energy compared to playing with friends.
Yeah.
One is
And
much more fun. I will
but
say that.
Which is more rewarding, though, you know?
I mean, double perfecting a stranger is a lot better than double perfecting Chris.
As you feel the resentment build.
Yes, when I play a ranked match and they just immediately pick quit after the first game and just not even for the rematch, you know, after they lose, that's always, as a JP player, very satisfying.
Yeah, it's salt in the wound for them, I'm sure. Okay. And that about covers it for me for the new releases in July. I believe you didn't really have anything in there, right?
Nothing at all. Pikmin
Aside from
4,
Pikmin,
I
yeah.
guess. Maybe if Capcom says something about Street Fighter 6, like Rashid, when's he coming out? It's supposed to be this summer, I think.
Yeah. Speaking of Capcom, Exo Primal
Oh,
coming
yeah, I
out in the
saw
middle
that.
of the month.
I did see that. That game looks whatever. I mean, it's
yeah.
games as service, right?
Our listeners know how we feel about it. I will laugh if it becomes like a smash hit and we're just
If they have like
completely wrong.
tournaments, I know.
Yeah. Like Exoprimal is the best
It's
game
the
of
new
summer.
Fortnite.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I mean, they're already adding skins preemptively, like new Mecha Ryu,
Mecha
Exoprimaler.
Guile. Yeah.
Huh?
All right. And with that, hilarious. Do you want to? We could keep going, or we could kind of close it out. The only other thing I was gonna ask is like, what have you been playing? And then we could just have general like game talk.
What have I been playing?
Street Fighter 6.
Pretty much exclusively Street Fighter 6.
Exclusively Street Fighter 6.
I would say entirely exclusively nothing but Street Fighter 6 when I have a spare moment.
All right. Do you have any new insights since we last spoke
and Tears
about
of the
it?
Kingdom.
Okay. And how's that been going? You finally got out of the tutorial.
Yeah, I got the tutorial. I got to the Rito village. I gotta say, the whole obstacle course, getting up to the dungeon, way better than anything in Breath of the Wild. Getting to the Sacred Beast, that was not that fun. And the dungeons also kind of sucked in Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, that's a criticism I've heard.
Having the paraglider with the gust going up the big towers, that was, you know what, fun and challenging, I would even say.
Okay.
Not bad at all. Good, actually.
Yeah. Did you finish the Rito kind of arc?
No.
Oh, okay.
I think I was just going up the floating pathway and got to the temple, and I was like, I'm kind of tired. I think I'll play Street Fighter 6 until 2 a.m.
Yeah, for sure. As a sequel, you know, do you feel like it's doing anything better, or like?
I would say everything.
Okay.
Everything.
You
about
don't feel fatigued at all being back in Hyrule?
No, because I only played Breath of the Wild in 2017.
Oh,
just like
so
for a
you've been-
month straight, and then
Yeah.
I never touched it again. So I haven't experienced any of it in 6 years. So people complain like, oh, it's the same map. Like, I don't remember any of this shit. Like, even when I think I accidentally went to the hidden temple or something, and they're like, oh, remember this place? Like, in the game, they were like, yeah, they're probably gonna remember this. I have never seen this before. I don't know what this is. This does not elicit any reaction. It was the same thing when I met the Rito, and they were like, "Ah, Link, you're back. Look at how my son has grown." Like, "Oh, Link, I love you. I remember me from Breath of the Wild." It's like, who is this?
They were little birds back
No
then.
recollection
Now
whatsoever.
they've grown.
No memory of them at all.
Okay. Well,
So for me, it's all new. It's in that way, it's kind of like Majora's Mask. Yeah, the same models, the same characters, but new stuff. I do like the music too a lot more. It's a lot scarier.
a lot more energy to it.
Yeah, I like how dismal everything is.
Have those like hands pop out?
Yeah, that was
at night?
cool.
Yeah.
That was like creepypasta shit.
Yeah,
in a
that
good
was
way.
completely unexpected for me. That was the Death Stranding like kind of mechanic I was telling you about earlier.
Getting
Like, oh,
killed
shit.
by a big mass of something, big
Yeah.
mass of red.
Yeah, that's something that happens quite often in that game.
Then you
It's
come
kind
out of a
trying to
whale,
drag
right?
you down, Norman Reedus into the ground. But okay. With Breath of the Wild, did you like focus on the main story path first,
Not
or
even
were you like
remotely, not at
exploring?
all.
Right on, yeah.
Just like doing whatever, you know.
Mhm.
In Zelda, I always want to do all the side quests first. Breath of the Wild was the first one where I just didn't bother with all the side quests because, unfortunately, with an open world, you kind of have to go for the Skyrim route of just like, oh, I want 5, frog legs or something, or oh, Link, my father wants to marry me off unless he gets a shiny red rupee. It's like not that engrossing compared to like no game will ever do this again, but I feel like Majora's Mask had the perfect side quest system where the side quest was like almost more important than the main story. Just like every character had their
Yeah.
own thing to do, and you could see like all their days mapped out, where they were going, what they planned on doing that day, how it impacted the lives of people around them.
Exactly. Yeah.
That was perfect to me in how to create side quests that are interesting. Each one felt like really unique, even the ones that were just like talking to people.
Yeah. It would
And-
have those lasting ramifications. And,
Yes.
Yeah, that is cool.
And Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom both are nowhere close to that with the side quest content. But the shrines are a lot better.
Think so?
I think so. There's a lot less kill this guy. Kill
Okay.
that thing.
Yeah.
Or good job getting here. Here's a free treasure chest. I never
The
liked
tool
those.
set
Yeah.
is so much more robust.
The
in
puzzles
Tears
are a
of the
lot
Kingdom.
more involved. Also, I feel like
It's interesting.
pretty easy for me though.
Yeah.
As an
Do you
adult man.
spend a lot of time like building like contraptions or anything, or are you just
Yeah, I'll like
easiest solution first?
I like to get a bunch of trees and make a big super tree, and then I'll put that down from place to place, and I'll climb up that. That's usually my go-to.
Classic.
Uh-huh.
Any notable debacles with like try to start the jet engine and then fucking
Jet engine. Oh, I put a rocket on my shield and I forgot.
awesome.
Yeah, I've done that. There's a lot of forgetting that bomb flowers have what is it? They explode when you put them on the arrow, and it hurts you and kills you instantly if you shoot point blank. That's happened a lot of times. A lot of whoops. I forgot about the explosive. I would say is what happens.
Yeah, I feel like when you get to the Gorons again, it's easy to forget. Like, I'll pull out a bomb arrow right now. And
then immediately
in the volcano,
catches on fire and kills you.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It's cool seeing stuff like the bomb flower, right? And did you see the like?
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Yeah,
I hate it. It not what I expected. Out at you too. It's it's the only time they've actually been like threatening instead of just gross.
Mm-hmm. Right. I'm so used to the top-down perspective of them, where they just look like.
Yeah, like now they have a big like uvula you have to beat up.
Yeah, it's odd. It's an odd one.
You got to beat the shit out of it. It's really disgusting, as it should be.
Yeah. All right. Any other thoughts, closing statements on Tears of the Kingdom?
I'd say it's the only problem with Tears of the Kingdom is that now that it's out, I don't feel like there's any reason to ever play Breath of the Wild again.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't planning on it, but
yeah.
I can't see ever playing it again.
Did you do like the Trials of the Hero and all that shit DLC in Breath of the Wild? Okay.
No, I had it, just never even bothered with it.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. Okay. Let's see. And then you said you've been playing a lot of Street Fighter 6.
Yeah, believe it or not.
Yeah, what rank you at right now?
Platinum.
Let the viewers know. Yeah.
Yeah, just platinum. Easily. I've been going online. I've been looking at a Dark Side Phil to see what his rank is.
Oh, like, DSP.
This is,
that's who that is.
That's like the minimum. Like, if I can't at least get to this level, then I am bad at this game. If I cannot get at least to the rank DSP is at, then I cannot call myself even average at this game. I have to be at least where he is, if not higher.
True Street Fighter.
It's the benchmark of a true player, I feel like.
Right on. Any new stories from that, or just
playing Street Fighter
away? You know.
Did
you finish the single player content?
No,
does it have like?
I pretty much totally stopped playing it and just play competitive matches now. Maybe I will at some point. I don't know.
Yeah,
but I have no interest in avatar battles really, because
exactly.
I try to do it for like the daily challenge thing to get the drive tickets. Maybe those will be worthwhile at some point. And people just like max out their HP, so then they just do the same combo over and over. So even if you are, beating the shit out of them, you still lose because you have less HP at the end of the timer going down. So it's not very fun. I was hoping it would kind of just, give everyone the same parameters for HP, but I guess that's not possible.
Yeah, it seemed like with the character creator, they didn't care about balance. It's kind of just like
no, and the limbs, the lengths are the actual lengths of your attacks.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's epic.
Pretty cool.
Completely fucked up hitboxes.
Yeah, you can just use anyone's specials with any base kit.
That's cool. I still haven't picked it up. Just trying not to spend too much money right now.
It's great.
Yeah. Last big game I picked up was Final Fantasy 16, which I kind of talked about last episode.
Yeah, you said you loved it. You said you never want to let it go.
I honestly haven't been back because I've been playing more Dragon's Dogma.
Wow.
It's the real dark fantasy game I want to be playing,
Yeah, you're playing Final Fantasy 16, you're like, wow, this reminds me of Dragon's Dogma. I think I'll just play Dragon's Dogma. I think I'll just play Dark Arisen.
It's just it's so funny just hearing all these fucking British accents in Final Fantasy.
They're all British
the Christos. Now? Yeah.
Even in the what was it, Stranger of Paradise one, they didn't bother with that shit.
No, they didn't.
No, he was just a regular American listening
Yes,
to
I hate chaos.
listening to Limp Bizkit,
Yeah.
telling the princess, "I don't give a fuck."
Puts it in, yeah. Some good shit. Yeah, I think since we last spoke, I got like a little further in the story of Final Fantasy 16. I got like the next like elemental ability.
Yeah, is that like Devil May Cry stances or something?
Honestly, it is.
I figured.
Hilariously.
I figured
like,
it's exactly like that.
Yeah, your starting ability is like a dash to the enemy, and then the second one you get, it's literally Nero's like Devil Bringer.
Oh, nice.
God. Yeah.
What element
which is
that?
a great mechanic.
Water?
Yeah. Wind.
Wind. I would have thought the dash was wind. Was that electricity?
The dash, it's like fire, right? You like
Fire?
towards
Okay,
him. Yeah.
You know what? Ken has a run. His feet catch on fire. It makes sense. They know what they're doing. I shouldn't try to. Even
I don't want to question the Japanese.
the mind of a genius.
Yeah, they know what they're doing. Yeah, and so it's cool, but again, mostly just going back to Dragon's Dogma. Fantastic game.
Yeah, they're making a new one.
Like, it's an open world action RPG done right, where it's like the right size. You know, it's not too big.
Yes,
Even though you're doing a lot of walking.
it does feel massive because of the walking.
Yeah, but they have enough encounters in between or like treasure to find. But I feel like maybe it's just because I'm so familiar with the game that I'm just like,
Yeah, I feel like in Dragon's Dogma, it was very easy to get lost and run into enemies that are like 20 levels ahead of what you're supposed to be at, or where you are currently in that point of the game.
Yeah, I've really been taking my time this run. I'm like, I'm putting the main story off. I'm just gonna max out all my vocations, you know.
Like going on Game Facts, like, oh, okay, so if I max out every other class, then Strider is usable.
I think one of the metas is just like level up Strider to 200 levels, and then you can switch to any class and you'll be fine. But
that sounds horribly boring.
I can't just stick with Strider. Currently, I'm doing Mage, which is cool. I think it's one of the best magic systems in a video game.
Yeah, it's really easy to win with it.
And like, it's engaging, right? You think about Skyrim's magic, and you're just like holding the triggers down.
Yes, I hate it.
So,
especially compared to Oblivion's. My God.
I love the little bolt in Oblivion you shoot out.
I know. I love the fact that you could make spells in Oblivion.
I wonder if that'll come back in
It won't.
Elder Scrolls 6.
It will. No.
I want to be able to, walk on water.
Anything fun, anything like kind of goofy, anything that allows you to actually like create something, they're never ever going to put back in again.
Shit.
Not a chance. Anything that requires any conscious thought, no way.
It's probably just going to be an Xbox exclusive anyway, so I won't be able to play it.
Good. You're not missing out, I'm sure.
So we've been going for about an hour now. I'd say if you got anything else you want to bring up, we can, but otherwise...
In the gaming world?
Yeah.
Nothing really. I mean, I did
you pick up Ghost Trick?
I did not, but I will play it. I will finish it. It's,
right on.
As I've said, the second greatest game ever released on the Nintendo DS. And also the second greatest game ever released on the Nintendo or the Apple iPhone.
Yeah, don't play too many games on there.
Yeah, you know, it's not the ideal method, but it's on there.
It's on there. They got fucking San Andreas and like a bunch of Grand Theft Autos you can play on your phone, and it's so horrible.
You should play those shitty knockoffs.
Oh, I used to when I was like 12. It's like, oh, free.
Yeah, funny.
Play that, yeah. Always horrible. All right. Well, it is July 1st, 2023. We have been Video Ditch. You can find me, Sam, at the Super Sammycom on Twitter, and you can find Nick at...
Oh yeah, Somebody Stop Me, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, whatever. Also, we will ideally, next episode, or the episode after, one of the two, have our second ever set of guests, the Drink a Beer, Play a Game hosts who will be coming on. We'll be talking about our personal opinions on Street Fighter, Tekken, and Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, we'll be talking the big three.
That's right. We're gonna be real nice about it. We're gonna talk real nice like to them about Street Fighter.
Yeah. How come we don't bring up Soul Calibur?
Is it still around? Did Soul Calibur 6 do well?
Soul Calibur 6, I think it did well enough. They put 2B in it.
Yeah, I don't know. I have it. I played it a couple of times. I feel like weapon-based combat just can't quite cut the mustard. As I play with the only
not in vogue
Street Fighter character who fights with a cane.
All right. Thank you for listening. I suppose we will see you next time.
Yeah, see you then.
See you then.